Hello, this is Melissa, the ProgressBook manager here at Meta, and this video is geared towards high school guidance counselors. We've added a new report in the Analytics Hub that is going to help you figure out which of your students are on track to graduate and which ones aren't. That way you can better assist them. You can find this new report in the Analytics Hub. So you click on this paper icon up here in the right corner. If you don't have the paper icon, you're going to need to get with your tech coordinator or EMIS coordinator and have them add it. Click on the Analytics Hub, and then when you get in the Analytics Hub, you click on the eligibility folder. If you don't have that eligibility folder, you'll still need to get with your tech or EMIS coordinator so they can add it. Meta staff cannot add that for you. Someone at your district has to. So in this eligibility folder, there's Meta Tracking High School Graduation Credits Report. This is the new report, and Nathan at our Dayton office created this report for us. So this report will show if high school students are on track to graduate. It's best viewed on the screen or exported into a PDF. You don't want to do Excel or CSV because you're going to lose all the beautiful formatting and coloring. The report looks at the EMIS subject area for credit value on the EMIS tab of the course in course maintenance or the manual course history record to determine which category the course falls into. Please remember the EMIS subject area for credit field is school year specific. So I'm going to show you an example of there's a class that has the wrong EMIS subject area for credit value, and I'm going to fix it in this current school year, but I would want to go back to prior years and fix it there also. One final note, the fine arts and financial literacy requirements only look at the corresponding values on the student's FN graduate tab of their profile. These two values don't look at how many credits the student has earned. And I'll show you an example of that shortly. So let's go ahead and run this. So again, this report is geared towards high school guidance counselors. My school name, I only want to run it for high school. It would not make sense for me to run it for elementary students because again, this is Ohio's high school graduation requirements. Grade level for today, I'm going to concentrate on 11th graders. I've found that if I start small and do one grade level at a time, that helps me. In student status, I want active and non-resident, and I hit OK. The report completes fairly quickly, and as you can see, there's going to be this fantastic coloring. Again, you want to work the report on your screen or export it using this drop down here as a PDF. So the first student I have on my list is Patricia Abbott, and this top row will tell me all of ODE's requirements. So ODE requires English. The second row tells me how many credits. So 4 credits total of English. We look at this, she has earned 2 already, and she has 1 credit in process. Well, that makes sense because Patricia is an 11th grader. So she would have already completed freshman and sophomore English, and she's taken her junior English, so that makes sense. She should have 3. She's on track for that one. Physical education. Notice green, and it says exempt. So green is good. That means they're done with that category. But where did this exempt come from? Well, in Ohio, a student has to either take a half a credit of phys ed, or they have to be exempt from physical education requirements. And what this report is looking at for Patricia is Patricia's FN graduate tab of her profile. What I recommend when you're doing this report and troubleshooting students is have 2 browsers open. So I have another incognito session open with Patricia, and that way I don't have to keep Xing out of my report to go look at Patricia. I'm going to click on the magic white triangle and go to her profile, and then I need the FN graduate tab. in the report is looking at this. Exemption from physical education requirement equals yes. If you have created, some districts I've seen create a course and put it in their course history, PE exemption, that's great, but you still have to mark this as a yes. And that has been that way for 6 or 7 years now. So any student exempt from phys ed needs to have a yes in this box. Okay, so let's go back to the report. Look at math. So notice math and algebra are the same coloring. That means they go together. So in Ohio, a student has to have 4 credits in math, and one of those has to be algebra 2. It's saying that she's already earned 2 total credits in math, and one of those is algebra 2, and she has another credit of algebra 2 in process. Something doesn't seem quite right to me. Because if she's taken algebra 2 now, how could she already have earned a credit in it? So let's go check out her schedule first of all and see what class she has on her schedule that could possibly qualify as an algebra 2. So I click that magic white triangle, view, edit her full schedule. Well, she's taking algebra 2 right now. Okay, that explains the in process, but how in the world does she already have a credit earned? So the next thing I'm going to do is in the cheater up here, I'm going to look at her course history. So type student course history in the cheater up there, and it's this first one. And this is her course history. I'm going to click this show filters up here, and I have a whole separate video that I made last year on how you can filter on this page. But simplicity's sake, I would change this to earn. I would come down here and make sure that EMIS subject area for credit is pulled over to the right, because we need to see that value. We only want is high school credit courses. I would check that. And then you want to come up here and I want to save my settings. And now every time you look at this course history page, it's automatically going to load those settings. Then what I'm going to do is hide all this so I can see it, and going to sort by EMIS subject area for credit. So the 2 math codes are MTO and MTA. MTA is the algebra 2 and its equivalent. I look down here, it's saying she has taken half a credit in 1718 of MTA and another half in 1718. You look, it's algebra 1. This is definitely coded wrong. And if you see this, the core subject area is marked as MTO, but the EMIS subject area for credit is MTA. These should always match. This needs fixed. I would need to go back to 1718, update this EMIS subject area for credit value on the course back in 1718. For both of these classes, I would need to update it to MTO. I'd want to go back to 1617, 1819, the current school year, and make sure that it was correct in all those years too. All right, let's go back to the report. Next category is the social studies, and notice it's these 3 columns all in pink. They all go together. Social studies, you need 3. This student has 2 already earned and 1.5 in process. American government, so there's 3 total social studies, and of those 3, a half has to be American government and a half has to be American history. She's already got the American history one, perfect. And the American government, she has 1 in progress, 1 credit in progress. So if we take a quick look at her schedule again, I bet I see an American government class on her schedule. Yep, there it is. So that's where that 1 credit in process is coming from. So if I come over here and go back to this main category, so she has 2, she's attempting 1.5, she's going to have 3.5, she's going to have this one completed by the end of this school year. Okay, now we have the econ and financial literacy, and notice it says incomplete. This econ and financial literacy and the fine arts requirement do not look at how many credits a student has in that category. What those two values look at is the FN graduate tab. And there's two fields near the top of that FN graduate. It's looking at this core econ and fine art literacy requirement met. If that student has met this, I need to say yes. Core fine arts requirement met, yes. Now, the next time I run that report, since this student has met both of those, it's going to show in green. So we come over here to the fine art. Notice it said that she had a half a credit earned in fine arts, but it still said incomplete, even though she had a half a credit earned. That's because she didn't have that FN graduate tab marked. You have to have that marked, and it's been that way. Same thing for phys ed. That FN graduate tab and marking both of the econ and fine arts requirements has been in place for probably 6 or 7 years. That is nothing new. Okay, next, let's go with science. And this is a pretty big category. We've got 4 columns. Science, you have to have 3 credits. And honestly, this is where I see the most issues. Science and math, I would say. So you have to have 3 total credits of science. Of those 3, 1 has to be physical, 1 has to be life, and 1 has to be advanced. And honestly, advanced is where I see most issues when I start looking at these reports for districts. So she's got the physical met. She has 1 credit earned. It's complete. Life, she's got 1 credit earned. It's complete. Advanced science says she has none complete and she has none in process. That's not good because she's a junior. She should be almost complete with this. So let's look at her schedule. So advanced science is something like biology 2, chemistry. Well, we look at her schedule, well, there's chemistry. This is an advanced science class. If you're ever not sure what qualifies, there is a lot of literature out on ODE's website if you search graduation requirements. So chemistry is definitely an advanced science class. So this is course 322. If we go to course maintenance, so if you type courses in the cheater, it will take you to the search results. It's always the fourth one. And I'm going to look up 322. And I pencil that. Go to the EMIS tab. EMIS subject area for credit. They have it as physical science. So this is marked wrong. This should be an advanced science course. The course subject area should be in advanced science. So this field and this field, it should always match. If you're watching this video and you haven't seen the other 2 grad points videos, part 1 and part 2, please go watch those also. Because again, I mentioned in those videos, these 2 fields have to match. So hit save. Now the next time I run this report, it will show that she's got 1 credit of advance in progress. I will need to go back and fix this chemistry class in all the prior years too. And I'd go back 4 years. I'd go back because you could have a senior that took this class as a freshman. It's very highly unlikely, but it is possible. Okay, so let's go back to the report. Health, she needs a half a credit. She's already earned a half a credit. That's why it's green complete. Electives, she needs 5 electives. She's earned 3. She's got 1 in progress. So she'll have 4. She's a junior. That makes sense to me. Her senior year, she'll add another. She'll end up with her 5 electives. And we've already talked about this fine arts requirement. So this is the new report. We think it's pretty fantastic. We will be doing work sessions on this report. in the month of December. Here are the dates. You can sign up for these on our website. Go to metasolutions.net and you register yourself. Please pay very close attention to the times because they're different at each of the locations because we had to do that to accommodate staff schedules and training room schedules. If you miss these sessions, don't fret. We will have them again in January, weather permitted. We'll do it again in February, weather permitted. But you get a great start on it by just watching this video. If you have questions, send us a help desk ticket. Again, these are work sessions. I'm going to take the first 15-20 minutes of the work session, run the report, walk through some troubleshooting steps just like I did on this video, and then you'll be on your own to troubleshoot the report. And of course, we'll be in the training room at each of the locations to assist you if you have questions. If you come across an issue with the report or a question about a student, a question about a course before these sessions, please send us a help desk ticket. All you do is email ProgressBookHelp@metasolutions.net and it makes a ticket for the whole entire team. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and hopefully we'll see some of you high school guidance counselors at these sessions.